squares. Okay, make the dot on the top and the bottom at 1-inch increments and pull your lines and spin your board over and do the same way. You want to do them each one and pull the lines, and then we're going to split those again into 1/2-inch squares. But I want you to do the 1-inch first before you do the 1/2-inch to save on confusion. Okay. Let's speed this up so it looks like this. And there you go. Now, what I want to do next is we're going to start with a temper paint and paint a background wash. I'm using red and green. I'm getting a brown with a white, so I'm getting a lighter brown tone. I want a neutral background. You don't have to do this color, but you want to make your background neutral. Okay, and this will act as an underpainting, so none of the white of the cardboard shows through, or poster board. Alright, so fill all this in, and then we're going to make a gradation. We're gradually getting darker with brown, and then add a little red towards the edge of it. Okay, so here now I have a gradation background. Let it dry completely, give about 15 minutes, and then we're going to cut out a pattern out of a piece of newspaper. Here I'm going to make a simple bottle pattern, fold my paper down the middle, and I'm going to cut out the shape of a bottle to where it's symmetrical by the fold, and then I'm going to glue the patterns down to the painting, the location I like for me. Use a glue stick. This works very well. And the glue stick is water soluble, so we'll be able to peel this off later. All we're doing is masking out the bottle shapes. Okay, you can use any shapes for this. They don't have to be bottles. And what I'm going to do now is paint in the grid, and I want to use contrasting colors, so I'm going to choose a light pink and emerald green. So I'm going to paint each square, opposing square, pink, and then the other square green. So I'll do all my pinks first, like so. And take your time with this. A flat brush works well. And keep all your brush strokes in the same direction. Okay. So give yourself about an hour to do that. And then add the green. Take your green and add some white to it to get that emerald effect. Very nice. Now when you paint the green in, paint your brush stroke in the opposite direction of the pink paint. Okay. And keep all the greens with the brush stroke facing the same direction for the greens. Alright, so once you've completed that, you want to let it dry completely, and then we're going to add water and saturate the newspaper with just water on our patterns. Paint the patterns only, don't paint all the paint around it. And we're going to peel that up, and the underpainting will show through. You know that gradation that we used? It'll show up. Okay, once you peeled it off, it should look something like so. You can see some watermarks on there, but I kind of like those. They're going to look good for the underpainting of the bottle. Now, I'm going to go with blue for my bottle, so I'm going to take a light blue I made up, white, and a little bit of royal blue. Okay, and mix that together, and now I'm going to use my round brush and paint my outline, and I'll start to fill in the bottles. And when you do this, you want to add a lot of water to your paint. Keep it translucent. So when you do paint it, it comes out a lot smoother. Start adding a darker value, so add more of your royal blue to your white and start in some darker values of blue. You don't want to go too dark too fast. And when you fill in the bottles, keep your paint very translucent so that under gradation shows through. Okay, then we're going to add white to our pale blue and start adding some highlights on the bottles. We can start adding our darker blue and use our fine brush and pull some lines, but don't outline the bottles completely with the royal blue. So we have 2 or 3 values there of blue on the bottles. This is the fun part. You start adding reflective light on the surface by adding white paint with a fine brush. And we just want to streak the bottles with some white for reflection. And then a little shadow with a watery green underneath the bottles. It's got a little bit of a cast shadow down there. And this is kind of fun to make liquid pouring out of one of the bottles. And here I'm going to paint a splash from liquid drops hitting a puddle of liquid. So I do the splash first, and then I'll do the puddle underneath. Now, again, keep your paint very fluid so you can show that it's translucent, so the undercolors will show through the paint. Don't want it real thick. Keep it nice and thin. You're almost rendering with your brush. I'm just drawing a puddle here in this area. Now the real effect comes when we add our highlights on the droplets. Let's get a close-up of that. So we can get up close and very, very, very carefully just hit a highlight on the tip of those droplets where the splash is. Paint highlights on the ripples of the liquid also coming out of the bottom. Let's speed this up. So this is a fun project to work on. Give yourself about 3 or 4 hours to do it, and just be creative with your patterns, and see what you can make out of them. So I enjoyed this one, and don't forget to see me on the next video. Appreciate it. Bye.